Thank you for the introduction and thank you for your kind words. Whatever I think I needed to say for the introduction, I think most of you guys have covered it. So nonetheless, I'll just run through it quickly. And once again, a very good morning to every one of us, and hope that all of us are managing to learn and adapt to the new normal that is being said through and throughout. With that being said, I'll just do a quick introduction in terms of what I am and what I've been doing. So basically, I'm from Chennai, and I've been educated overseas. We started the frozen food business sometime in '96. That has been a family business. And in 2005, we consolidated and set up one of the largest integrated frozen food manufacturing facilities in this part of the country. And we've been doing it ever since. Just to understand more about the food business, I also started along with a friend of mine, a small online forum called Chennai Food Guide. We have close to a lakh and 20,000 odd ardent foodies who go out and eat regularly and share their views and thoughts. So that has been given me a great perspective in terms of consumer behavior, specifically in terms of food, what they're looking for, what is trending, and what is actually happening. I've been able to track since as late as, say, even for the past 15 odd years, we've been able to do in that particular segment. Besides this, just to sharpen my knowledge, we have also been extending consultancy service in sort of setting up industrial canteen for universities, for IT companies, food courts, food retail such as cafes, restaurants, so on and so forth. And my latest venture has been Food Consulate. It is basically a bakery and pastry training academy based out of Chennai. We've been training pastry chefs for the past 4 odd years. And now we're starting training in culinary program also. We're affiliated with City and Guilds United Kingdom. The certification is valid in over 80 countries. And we have some of the most advanced and sophisticated training programs available for the ardent person who's actually interested in coming into this particular line. So that is pretty much about me. I recommend that in case you guys have any doubts or anything, to have a small piece of paper or a pen available with you, so you guys can actually note it down and you can ask me during the question and answer session. So that is pretty much a little bit about me. So before I start, I also like to say that I am one among you, and having the same kind of a problem which you all are facing, I'm also facing. So I'm no exception. I'm not an expert. I just want to share what I have experienced in the 19 odd years of my experience over here and currently what we are facing. So we as a business person or a professional in the food industry community are all in this together. So with that, I would like to start this session. Is everyone comfortable in terms of the audio and the video? If you're okay, please in your chat box, if you can press yes, will be really helpful. Are you guys able to hear and listen to me well? Is there any interruption or anything?
Yes, Chef. Yes, Chef. We are able to hear you. Your video is clear and your audio is clear, Chef.
Thank you for that, sir. So that being said, I'll just start with a small. I don't know if it is a story, but it's a story that one of my mentors, my father, always used to tell me about the story. So once upon a time, actually, a person went to a fortune teller to find how his future is going to be. So as soon as he extended his palm and read the palm lines and looked at his face and thought a lot, then the fortune teller said that for the next 6 months, life is going to be very difficult for you. So the guy who went to read the fortune was very shocked, and he said, "Oh my God, what am I going to do? So tell me after 6 months how it's going to be." Then the fortune teller just put up a wry smile, and he said that you'll get used to it. So that is pretty much about what is actually happening with us in terms of this pandemic season. We are experiencing one lockdown after the other. Cloud kitchen platforms like Swiggy, Foodpanda, and so many other people we've been actually servicing. That is basically we are doing the base product and giving to their kitchen. They're further adding value, or they're converting it as a product and they're selling it. That is what our business has been. Besides this food platform, we've been servicing flight catering companies like Singapore Airlines Terminal Services, LSE, Sky Chef, all the top flight catering company we've been servicing. Besides them, we also have been servicing people like Sodexo and Compass Group and all these other industrials. So what we do is that in our frozen food factory, we used to manufacture in large bulk volume and give it to all these food service companies, which further convert it into a valuable product and give it across to them. So it has always been our struggle for so many years we've been doing business. The margin is really wafer thin. And sometimes we'll have to lose out in certain products for us to bring in other products where we're trying to make some sense in doing the business. So in a really bulk and manufacturing capability based business, we're finding very difficult to keep on building our verticals only from a B2B business. And we've been talking many times to do something which reaches across the consumer, which gives us better margin, better control, and also what we call good size of business. That is how many successful business are having brands such as ID or Britannia or Hindustan Lever or any of these other food manufacturing companies. They are able to manufacture and give it across to the end consumer, which gives them a fair bit of margin for them to work. So what we have been trying to do is that also try to do retail, but since we didn't have much of experience, we had only very limited success in that particular program. But during this particular pandemic time, what I've done is that I've decided to cut the entire channel, and we as an organization have decided that what we manufacture, we're going to select certain set of products which are preservative free and chemical free, and we started reaching out to apartments and apartments and residential communities, right? And because many people all of them are inside and they're not able to move outside, they're very worried about, the food that is available in the delivery platforms. So ours is actually a ISO 22000 certified factory, which basically has all the things that today everyone is following in the pandemic, such as, sanitization, mask, a hairnet, cover, protective clothing. Everything is already there in part of business. So not something that is really new to us. Only thing is that we have to enhance it to the new WHO standards that has been given. And frozen is the best format as of now for doing manufacturing and giving to them in terms of larger capacity. So with that, we're able to actually deliver across. So we did the trial run, and I started with the two apartments last week ago, and the result has been simply overwhelming. At a time when we are all so down and so depressed, a simple sale across a small apartment complex has given us so much of confidence, and we've decided to scale up to the next level by organizing more trucks to move and park in this kind of a space, and directly talk to the customer. So what is happening, instead of me giving for a very low margin product to a B2B, be a flight catering company or a delivery platform or a restaurant or a food service company, I'm able to mark up my margin and able to reach across to the end consumer and give this product. Now, when you talk about a big, large company, you'll think, we need to have a proper distribution channel. All that has gone down the drain as we speak right now. Because right now, we have to see how we can actually cut down the layers in between and try to more effectively and efficiently try to reach across your end consumer and make them a repetitive consumer so that you'll have a separate vertical. This is the strategy that we have chosen. And I think this is a great strategy for many people for them to move forward. It's a great time for us to introspect, time for us to slow down, time for us to reboot, time to spend with our near and dear, and above all, time to spend for your own self to make yourself better. So we have a lot of time available right now to learn new stuff. And I think India Metalworks and Prego, they are doing a fantastic job in, getting these kind of, knowledge series across to help people who need, to upgrade their own selves. And now this is a perfect time to adapt and, upgrade your soft and technical skills as an individual, as a business owner, as a professional, right? And as a business, it is also a time for you to consider, because you're saying now, my manpower is not available. My trained, skilled manpower is stuck at this place or is not available over here. The same thing I'm also facing. So now is a great time for me to, restructure my operation in time to see how I'm able to do infrastructure wise, to see and consider whether if you have the money to see to, invest in technology, which can actually help you to cut down the labor. These are the things that you can actually think and discuss and, try to work on. And another very important thing, which I personally feel, is that now the most important thing is actually collaboration, power of collaboration. So today, after the internet has really boomed and there's so much YouTube videos available and to make, most complicated stuff, and, even I think nuclear weapon also can be made by what's been available in the internet as of now. So today has become a world of no more secrets, right? So food is something that is very, very simple and basic. And if you can actually really apply your mind to it, you can actually find out how to do a particular product. So that being said, do not fear, that your secret will be exposed, because everything is already available in the internet. So find complementary partners who can actually help you. For example, if I'm a bakery, I would probably look into someone who can actually help me to, give, say, frozen food for that matter. So both of us together, we can share a common platform for delivery and, go reach across, and we, that is what we actually have done, in fact. So the bakery which we have, which actually was an academy for training. So there we are producing some bakery products. Along with that, we are actually taking the frozen food truck together. We are actually going to the apartments and we're sharing the cost for the truck, for the manpower, and the diesel and so many things together. And we're also able to realize it better. If I'm going to say that I'm going to open the bakery and wait for the customers to come, I don't think that is going to happen. The only way for us is actually to see that we reach across there and make sure that we actually go to the business rather than expect the business actually to come towards us. So that is very, very important for all of us. And that being said, please do not fear. So find complementary partners you actually can work with, and please trust me, despite the number of competition that is available, there is enough space for all of us under the sun. Only thing is that having the right mindset and the right attitude to work along with people is the most important pertinent thing. And my another request to you is that I think it's about time that many of us just stop blaming the government or anyone else for that matter, because they are all at the best of their performance, or they're stretched at their resources and limits. There's no point in talking to them. Please take every single effort in terms of how you can do it yourself despite the given condition. Now this condition is not just for you, not for me, it's for the entire world, right? So now you have to take things in your own hand and you have to try to move forward, right? So so another good way for you to actually get into a lot of solution for these kinds, please share your problems with the people you trust, your friends, your well-wishers, your family. There are a lot of experts and consultants available. Don't be afraid to ask, right? It's a difficult time for everyone and everyone will really understand. And very, very importantly, please try to involve your family. This might be a great time to either bring your wife or your son or your daughter or anyone for that matter. You can try to bring them to business, because now is the time that all of us have to work together. If a household is going to have only one person working, it's going to be very difficult for us to sustain, be it a business, be it a professional. Try to see if you can involve your better halves. Try to see if you can involve your children if they are at the right age, your family members who might be been thinking about adding as a partner or whatever. Just talk to people. Just talk to people. They will understand. And the many questions I ask is that, is this the right time to start a business? From a personal experience, I say, if not now, then there's never a better time, right? Being very opportunistic in terms of using this particular situation, right? I see the response is better in this residential community where we are trying to sell the frozen food and the bakery item, because people are more susceptible to, see the entire effort and everything is actually done. And we're able to convince to them saying that we are coming from a very clean and hygienically manufactured facility, and it's very easy to actually convince them. So that is the truth also. So it is a great opportunity for you to actually go forward when the other opportunities are there. Last night I was after around 8:30 being in the office, I was just taking a ride back home, and there actually I did see all the shops shut around 8:30. It is like as if it is a ghost town, every 20 shops or 30 shops, maybe one shop might be open. That used to be a food shop. I think 9 o'clock they also had to shut down. It's very depressing to watch. But despite that, what I feel is a great opportunity. Now is the time for you to move forward, and try to capture all the business that you actually have been thinking about getting for yourself. So please think about that as an opportunity. And I think now is a great time for you to, if you want to start a business, try to start it lean. There are a lot of skilled people without job available in the market right now. If you look enough, find and you search, and you should certainly find some very skilled and good people for you to employ in your business. So a lot of resources are available. There are lot of professionals that are available for them to reach across, and for you to clarify if you have any doubts. And again, answering the question, this is the right time to start a business. I've been researching on a particular product for close to around 10 years. Spend a lot of time, energy, and effort in that particular product. And we have spent close to around 5 years of time in developing that particular product. And only during this pandemic, only I have actually launched it. Because number one, I believe in the product. And historically, actually, look, a lot of great companies actually were actually launched and developed and brought to the market at a time when there's a very economic depression, or there's a very challenging environment. That is a time that is actually come. Because right now, when everything's really down, all the things work negatively. And if you're able to actually sustain and make and push and make that business happen, right, it will survive through any other difficult time in the near future that is going to throw a challenge at it. And I think with that being said, despite being, all things being gloomy, I'm very, very positive in launching this business. after 10, it is like, how do I say, it is like the culmination, and it has been in the research of all the things that I've been doing together, and my first launch of the business, and the response has been really, really overwhelming, right? For those who are interested, I can share it at a later point in time, what is the business that I'm talking about. The response has been simply overwhelming, and trust me, I have priced the particular product at a super premium, where actually I'm getting more than 35-40% NP, net profit. So with that, I'm actually able to actually also say that that now is a great time to start business if you really, really have the grit and determination to actually see it through. So that is as far as setting up of your new business at this point in time. And from personal note also, please be kind to your employees. I know that you have not generated any cash or whatever, but try to see if you can at least help them with their basic salaries. If not, at least try to help them with the getting something, the groceries or anything for them to move on. Try to talk to them and make them understand what the situation you're running. The same thing, please go to talk to your vendors, see if it is actually can talk to them, and you can drop down the price a little bit, give a little bit of a credit extension, and please talk to your families. Don't be grumpy, and don't be really, really upset and really bottled up about the things around you, because more than you, your better half is in a lot of pressure. If not for the family support, it will be very difficult for any person to focus on their professional career or in the business career. So I think you need to have your 100% support of your family. For that, we'll have to do a lot of sacrifice in terms of making them understand that that things will be okay. They're also equally scared. Your kids will be scared. Imagine bottling up those undying source of energy, keeping them confined to your houses. It's very, very difficult. And and your wife, she is continuously cooking and cleaning, or your better halves, or your husband sometime might be helping her with the cleaning, and it is really, really built up a lot of pent-up pressure. So please talk to your family and get their cooperation, and reassure them that things will be good. Talk to your employees, talk to your vendors, please be kind to them, and talk to your landlords. Tell your landlord, if you're in rental premises, sir, it is very difficult for us to pay the rent. Please renegotiate with them. Don't feel shy. Because now is the time that you really need to speak to them and try to make them understand. And they might say that, sir, I have to pay the EMI, but now the government has made some arrangement for you for deferring the EMI payments. So ask them to make use of it, and try to organize things together, and do it. And please be transparent in your operation. If you're actually saying that you're manufacturing these things with certain kind of a hygiene and facility, and you're make sure that is actually see through the make sure that people are actually able to see that you mean what you actually say. So transparency, honesty, integrity, and communication to all stakeholders, including your family, is a must and absolute at this point in time, right? So that being said, I'd like to add one last story before we come to end of this particular session. This story of a broken businessman who actually lost everything in terms of his business and everything, and is very depressed, and he went to the park to go down and sit. So he was very, very down. So next to him was a well-dressed man in his very elder years, and he said, son, you look very down. What's your problem? So he said, no, I've lost everything in business, and I'm completely broke, and I think this one is going to happen. So he listened to his entire story. He kept very quiet. So towards the end of it, the man said that you look like a nice person. I'm going to help you. And he cut him a check for, say, so many lakhs or dollars or whatever. He's going to cut a check, maybe say $20,000. And he said, I'm going to give this to you, and you're going to use it to bounce back in life. This guy was really stunned, and he took the check and he pocketed the check very carefully. He went back with so much of confidence, and he really worked hard. He didn't want to take that money and put it in the bank straight away, because he said that he's going to use it as a last resort. Till such time, he really worked and completely turned around, and he was so happy. But in all this thing, he forgot to ask who this person was or what this was. So for 1 year, this guy kept going to the same park and trying to find the person. And after some 3 or 4 months, he saw this guy, and this guy just sitting there happily. And he said, sir, thank you so much for the check, but I didn't use it. It is, I've managed to turn around my business. I'm profitable. I'm so happy. So thank you so much for the money he's actually giving it. So then as this guy just smiled, and within a few minutes, actually, a couple of people in doctor's coat came and take this elderly man. He was actually a elderly man who's actually lost his mind, and he didn't have any money with him in his bank, just empty checks and everything, and he was just signing and giving to everyone who's coming to the park. So then only the businessman realized that It is only the confidence that he actually needed to bounce back to the business. And this particular man has actually happened to do it. And the same thing is actually to do. Today, if you are there in a business, it is you who started it and you who brought it to this particular stage. If need be, even if everything is gone, you as a person, you as a professional, you can also start it and do it again. It is not the end of the world. So please trust me, my dear friends and colleagues in this particular. Have faith and trust in God, and if not in the universe and the nature that you might be given a chance to believe. The more you give it to the universe, the more you should get back. And always remember, this too shall pass. And thank you very much for your time. Balaji sir, I think your mute. Your thing is mute, so we can't hear you actually.
Yeah, thank you, Chef, for this lovely, thought-provoking, right from the heart talk on how we are going to have this food entrepreneurship during this post-lockdown challenging times. I request Mr. Shankar to give his remarks on this particular subject.
Thank you, sir. Shankar sir, your mute is on. You have to unmute. I'll unmute it. Just a minute.
Shankar sir, unmute.
Thank you, Mr. Ali sir. Very nice of your presentation, and that really shows how long and how passionate you have been in this food industry. I've seen you for so many years, and the way you have built up your dream, I would say, it's not a business for you. You are more passionate about it, and your responsibility towards industry is very, very important. I've understood a lot of things because right from the day one, you have already told us very clearly that anybody who starts a business in food industry should be prepared or accept the challenges which the food industry is going to provide you. And you have always been cautious and educating people, entrepreneurs, and telling them about what are the opportunities the food industry has. And I think I'm really happy to hear from you, Mr. Ali, because now is the right time for people to start a business on their own, because this what I could feel is it's very interesting time because it's a new innovations, and today people have to think, rather redefine the whole process. That's where the whole journey is going to begin now. And from part of the Prego team and India Metals, I place on my appreciation to Mr. Balaji and the team members who have taken up so much initiative also. And we would like to thank you, Mr. Ali, for your presence here and giving us your valuable suggestions to the team participants. This knowledge series has been happening for some few weeks now, and the team has taken it up very nicely. This is going live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. This is also available. So my only request is, this is a wonderful opportunity for all our participants and fraternity from the food industry to maximum utilize this and listen from all the stalwarts. And we are really thankful to Mr. Ali for providing this wonderful opportunity and exposure to us. Thank you once again from the program.
It's a pleasure, sir. Now, if any questions are there, I'm there to take questions. Even if I'm not, if you're seeing it at a later point in time, you can actually share my.
No, we will take some questions, Chef. I have already a couple of questions.
Please, sir.
I could request Chef Lawrence, a senior baker and a trainer from Coimbatore. He's with us now. Chef Lawrence, you could unmute your audio and start talking. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, Chef, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we are able to hear you.
No, I'm glad to share this forum just like that. I wish this program. I just know I joined. Hello. You can put somebody else, Mr. Balaji.
Yeah, sorry, I think we lost in a bit.
You lost. We lost you, chef. I think so. Your video is also lost now.
Yeah, that's because there's no electricity over here, so I just put.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I think so. Is it okay to hear your audio in that case?
Yeah, sure. You
Just
can
one
hear
or
me
two
now.
questions. Yeah.
Okay,
Chef, we have a question. Yeah, we have a question saying that how is it going to be in terms, because you have trained a lot of homepreneurs, home baking. As you said, two people in the family have to be earning now. So how is that you foresee the homepreneurs in terms of home baking before this lockdown and post lockdown? What are the better opportunities you suggest for the home bakers?
It is indeed a gloomy time for many, home-based business, because everyone needs to be convinced about the, hygiene and the safety practices, because it is a general belief that at home we will be more relaxed in terms of the food and safety part of it, whereas an organization can actually do it. It all depends upon in terms of how much you're able to actually convince people on terms of how hygienic you actually are there. For example, right, I've been talking about this particular project which we launched recently. In the first event, right, we are able to sell close to 100 units of the product across to different people, for one simple reason: we made a small video and that went viral in terms of how hygienic we are actually doing the food preparation. Because today we are also listening to a lot of things saying that Swiggy, the delivery partners sometimes get infected, and when it comes to you whether the food is safe or not, or Zomato, just one small spark is enough for us to as it is, our imagination is very wild. So a small imagination. So convincing the people that you are actually very serious about what you do, about how you're doing, and most importantly, not just about saying that you're doing it, but actually doing it. That is very, very important, right? So all this matters in terms of how you build the trust in your end consumer in terms of, yes, I'm sanitizing this place. Yes, I'm wearing PPE. Yes, I'm actually regularly, cleaning my equipment and fumigating, and so a lot of these things at a home level, it will be challenging, but it is not possible. It is not impossible. It is very much possible, and people can actually can do it in a home-based business. So it is this effort, that is additional effort, that is actually taken by them. This home-based business, they need to really convince people that the place in which they're working actually is actually sanitized and clean, and they need to impress upon their customers that yes, this, because as it is, the home-based business actually has taken a huge chunk of business from organized bakeries and other restaurants and so many other things. They've actually taken the business. They've taken the business is because of two factors. One is that the home bakers, many of them are able to give a very price competitive thing, because some of them don't calculate overheads like rent or electricity. It all becomes part and parcel of it. But as a business, actually, if they're going to do it, they're going to be in a similar price line as to that of the professional people or whatever, right? So that being said, now they've already have built a trust with the certain businesses, and those businesses can actually they can reestablish with the home-based business and tell them we are back in business, we have done the sanitization, so we are undergoing temperature tests regularly, and so many other things which is actually recognized. I think that would be a great way for them to start. And there is so much of vacuum in the business today with the scattered manpower stuck in different places, with so many businesses unable to open. It's a great opportunity for home-based business to reach out. Even if you actually take, say, for example, an apartment complex where there are 200 houses, right? Even if every house has around, say, 4 people living in a house, we're talking about 800 people living in that particular community, right? And with that, there's going to be bound to be some birthday happening, some celebration happening, or some snack need or something that is there. And these people, as it is, they were doing it. Only thing they need to convince us, yes, it is done in a more sanitary way, and the food and hygiene is actually up to the mark. And for this information on this, there's a lot of information available on the internet, like YouTube, or so many other resources available in the internet. So they can use it and they can reach across and they can start the business and grow from there on.
Good, Chef. Thank you, Chef. And there's one more question come up, is in terms of cloud kitchen. There's a lot of words going around in terms of cloud kitchen. So how do you see this as for the entrepreneurs?
It's a very good question, sir. And in fact, now cloud kitchens are gearing up in terms of taking this opportunity, because cloud kitchen means that they don't have the heavy overhead, such as having a physical space for them to dine. So they're able to actually give costing in a better place, but they have a different kind of a style of operation in terms of getting the base mise en place ready, and from there on trying to service. From what I understand, there's a company called Box8, which after the April COVID, they've managed to raise a sizable amount of investment, somewhere to the tune of 50 to 75 crores. And company called Rebel Foods, right, which is basically Fasos and Veros and so many other brands. They managed.
What company is this, Chef? Sorry, Chef. What company is this?
Rebel Foods, Rebel, REBEL, Rebel Foods.
Okay.
They managed
And
to
one more
raise
company you said, Chef. One more company.
The other was Box8, BOX number 8, Box8. They're all basically cloud kitchen platforms, and where they aggregate and they try to sell orders from this one. And I'm talking about these two things because there's a lot of contention going on whether Swiggy, being an aggregator, can they actually be in the business of actually being in the cloud kitchen, because that would be a conflict of interest. So that is going separately. But that being said, so the other company which I told you about, Rebel Foods, they've managed to raise close to around 350 crores. So when money is being invested at a time like this, it basically shows that there's a lot of data available for them to say that, yes, cloud kitchen has a lot of opportunity and a lot of promises for them to actually be profitable. But to set up a cloud kitchen, you need a lot of experience and understanding in terms of how to actually do it. So super specialty cloud kitchens are going to come. Someone is going to make, say, for example, only say fried chicken. That could be the only focus, like like a KFC kind of a cloud kitchen kind of thing. If someone is going to make only biryani, that could be the only focus in terms of making a cloud kitchen. And for making a cloud kitchen, the investments are relatively less. And we have some fantastic products from brands like Prego, who actually make it much more price efficient, and also the serviceability of the product is also fantastic, and the performance of the product is also relatively good. And it's very easy for them to set up a small kitchen and start the business. Anywhere from 250 square feet to to the extent and size of the business actually can plan.
Good, Chef. Thank you, Chef. And we have one more question from Chef Lawrence.
Yes.
Chef, you can speak. Chef
Hello,
Lawrence,
Chef
you
Lawrence.
can start speaking.
Yeah, you have to unmute him. I'm trying to unmute him. Balaji sir, you can actually unmute him.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do that. Yeah. Why not? Just unmute him. Both of us are doing it at the same time, I suppose.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chef. Yeah.
Please tell me, Chef.
Chef Ali, today
Yes, sir.
I saw one ad in Facebook. It's quite disturbing.
Okay.
It is a manufacturer, I don't want to name.
Okay.
He is making bread machines.
Okay.
And the ad says there is a picture of a maid making bread.
Okay.
So the company says, how safe your bread
Okay.
made by this maid?
Okay.
Are you sure whether she is infected or not? How will you know whether she is infected or not?
Okay.
It's an ad by a multinational company.
Okay.
There is a picture of a maid chapati pananjittirukanga, bread pananjittirukanga.
Okay.
They are supposed to put this bread into the machine, and the machine itself will make the bread.
Okay.
So today, this much of scare and doubt has cropped into the housewives.
Okay.
So this is a very disturbing trend, I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, one thing I would like to add to what you just said, by nature, whether this pandemic is on or not, man, human, we all are basically social animals. It's very difficult for us to be away from other people.
Yes.
We always have to have people around us, whether it is our relative, our friends, our colleagues, our people who actually help us with the daily chores. It is impossible for us to be away from them. So I have no comments in terms of what that company has said or what they have actually have displayed in the ads. But if from what you actually have just shared, I don't think that is the right way actually to look at it. End of the day, they have been part and parcel of our lives ever since, we've been actually living our lives in in a house or an apartment or in a community or wherever. I don't think that is the right way. This disease or this infection is here to stay. There seems to be no end to it. Big countries like America, they themselves are clueless. Big countries like London, UK, they're also a little bit clueless, right? I think we have to thank our medical systems. For example, in a state like Tamil Nadu, where the number of doctors available is more, and the infrastructure and the ability to treat and the number of beds, I think, is relatively higher. Despite all this being available, still there seems to be no end to this kind of a thing. We have to learn to live with this, and we have to be more humane. That is what I had spoken earlier. We have to be kind to each other, sir. We have to be kind to our employees. We have to be kind to our staff. We have to be kind to our people who do even the menial work. Also, is very, very important. So I think that is the most important.
We have to be more compassionate towards these
absolutely,
things,
absolutely. There's no two ways about it, sir. There's no two ways about it, sir.
And one more thing to Mr. Balaji, good news has come. See, now UP has started doing the skill mapping.
Okay.
We were talking about today, Uttar Pradesh started, all the migrants who are coming to UP, they started mapping, they're doing the skill mapping according to their job, like mason, plumber, cooks, bakers, Now they are doing that kind of separation work they started doing.
Good.
That's good to hear, sir.
Thank you, Chef Lawrence. Thank you for your question and thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Chef
Thank
Lawrence.
you.
Yeah. So any other questions? Chef Ali has already mentioned his email ID in the chat box. I request all the guests, in case any other doubts or anything, he is such a lovely person to interact with, always willing to extend his knowledge sharing. And that's what I've known Ali for. He's very synonymous in sharing his knowledge. He's a very good trainer. So I request all the guests, in case who are watching in live Facebook, because this is reaching to more than 1,500, 2,000 people plus. So I request all of you all, the email IDs of Chef Ali is mentioned, or you could write to Prego team. We'll be more than happy to interact with Chef Ali, get the necessary information. And this is a time all of us have to stretch to help one another. And that's going to be the biggest service we do to our own mankind, helping one another. And this is a time for us to prove that about how good mankind is also about. Thank you, all the guests, and thank you, Chef Ali, for the wonderful, wonderful presentation. Let your knowledge sharing keep continuing to this wonderful industry, the hospitality industry, and let us take all these things forward. I thank the entire Prego team for bringing this together and being all with us to stay strong. Thank you all, and wish to see you in a different.
All the very best. We will see this through. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you. Yeah.